welcome to the show. It is Saturday, obviously, because OA Fantasy is live and effect. So, it is August 1st. I can't believe it. Summer is midway through. At this time, I remember when I was a kid, I would be seeing those commercials, like, I'd be dreading those back-to-school TV commercials. And, like, when I was a kid, it was like, who was it? Like JCPenney's and Sears would run these commercials like, it's back to school. And I remember around September, mid-September or so, I would be almost in tears. Like, no, I can't go back. I can't go back. But, oh my God, it's midsummer. And I have to say, quite frankly, this is probably one of the hottest summers I can remember. It has been a while. I'm still listening to this. I love this song. Hey, stay right there. All right. So this is my first show that I'm actually not going to have one of my mixes playing in the background. I think I'm over that. That was like this phase I went through for the whole year, and I'm like, I'm over that. And that was one of my favorite tunes by one of my favorite vocalists in house music. I Shall Not Be Moved by I was gonna say Kenny. No, it is Kenny Bobian, but I was gonna call him somebody else. So I'm glad I remembered it was Kenny Bobian. He's great. Like, a lot of people would compare us. I'm actually better than him, but that's just my own personal opinion. So welcome to OA Magazine. I'm your host, Omari Abasi, and it is hot. It is like 101 degrees here in Portland, and I am dying. Personally, I am dying. Seriously, it's just too much for me. And so today's title of the program is called Parents and Kids Ugh. Because let me just start off by saying that I anticipated this to be really one of my... I started off this day thinking, oh, this is going to be an amazing day. Because in town is the Red Bull Flugtag. And if you're not familiar... Most people are, but anybody who isn't, it is the Flugtag. It's basically like the flying machine. It's like RuPaul. What's wrong with me? RuPaul. Red Bull does this thing annually all over the world. Basically, people build shit and they push it over this barge and see if it'll fly. And for the most part, for the past few years, I think people have been cheating quite a bit, and it doesn't surprise me that people cheat, because people are just so whack and dishonest. I can't stand it. But I was so excited because I'm finally in a city where I would be able to see it. Now, it's not this, it didn't come to LA, and it's not that it wasn't in Seattle. I don't know. Every place I've ever seen it, I was never able to get to it because I was either couldn't drive to get to it or something. There was always something. So, this is one of the opportunities I got to actually go. So I was like, well, at least I was going to go, because that was a thought. I was like, oh, it's in town. It's August 1st. I can't wait. I gotta go. Like, it's down at the waterfront, so there's no excuses. I should be able to see it. So, a guy at work who, Neil, was like, are you gonna go? I'm like, hell yes. Are you kidding me? It's summer. It's not raining. It's at the waterfront. I'm in Portland. I'm loving life. I'm like, of course I'm going. Yes, I'm going. So we talked about it a little bit, and I was just like, I can't wait. So I had to wake up this morning. I had to get some stuff done with my storage, blah, blah, blah. Some negative domestic shit. I had to take care of that bullshit. And I was like, okay, let me get that done, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to Flugtag. And I was like, I'm going to get there at 11 because I want to kind of get there. I hate being late. So it said to start at 11, but it says to get there early. So I'm like, ooh, okay, so I'm going to go at 11, because that way the people who get there early, I don't want to be in the middle of a crowd. Like, I don't, especially when it's like standing room only or general seating, I don't want to be in the front, because when I want to leave, I want to leave. So I figure, come a little at 11-ish, and that way you won't be packed in. You'll be like on the outskirts. Well, I get there at 11, and it's thousands of people, like tens of thousands of people already there. But I'm like, okay, there's still a lot more people coming. And I was like, oof. So I found a tree, because it's 100 degrees. So I was like, okay, I found a shade tree. I kind of found my space, and I was like, okay, this is good. I'm close enough to the exit, so when I'm ready to bounce, I'm gonna bounce. And so, I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, there's like this kid that I can feel like he's probably like around 9, like an 8 or 9, and I can feel him, passing me and brushing against me, and I'm just like, why? Like, there's tens of thousands of people here. Like, why? And so I turn to my left to look, because I'm just like, I just need to see what this thing is, and I'm not kid friendly. I can't stand kids. Like, I'll be honest, I'm one of those adults who I don't like them. I don't like them. Like, if it's my friend's babies and it's cute, I'm all for it. Like, a lot of my friends have had babies, and I've, been, part of all of their lives. And yes, I've made exceptions where I do love them. I actually do love those kids. And when they were babies, I actually loved them. But other people's babies, I hate them. I can't stand them, and I can't stand parents. I can't stand being around that environment where I have to deal with people who can't, who actually, not that they can't, but who control their children differently than how I would say I was raised. So anyway, I look to my left, and all I can tell you is that there's this parent and his kid, and there's a father and son, and his son is like OCD, just like all over the place. And it's like, this is not the form for your child to be loose. Like, just contain him for whatever amount of time that you have to, because it's crowded. And he's getting French fries, and the first thing I could see was all this ketchup on his plate. And I'm like, if you don't move, I'm telling myself, I'm like, if you don't move, all that ketchup's going to be all over your outfit. And for those of you who don't know me very well, like, I'm not into designer labels anymore. Like, I used to be completely head to toe label. Like, that's just how I roll. And I'm not going to say, like, right now, because I just don't have the funds to do it. So, but I still have some of it from back in the day, not too far, but maybe a year ago. Like, I still have a lot of my stuff. So today, I had on like a John Varvatos shirt, and I had on like John Varvatos jeans, and I had on a pair of Gucci sneakers. And so, but this is just how I do. Like, this is not a big deal, and I'm not telling you this because I'm trying to brag because I'm poor. But it was just like, this was the look du jour, John Varvatos and Gucci. So I'm like, I don't want ketchup on my John Varvatos. And John Varvatos jeans are like about $250, and the shirt is like $120, and the Gucci sneaks priceless because they don't have these anymore, so they're vintage. And so I covet those because I'm like, you can't just go out and buy, and especially at my rate, you can't just go out and buy them anymore. So it's like, I don't want ketchup on any of this. Dirt is one thing because you're in a field, you're on a grassy knoll. So I get it. You're going to get a little dirt. You're going to get a little dust, and I'm okay with that because you could just get you can get a Bounty and a little water, or a little, I use Windex. So I get a little Windex, wipe that shit down, and I'm good to go. And so I'm just like, move now, or you really going to have ketchup over everything. So I'm just like, okay, let me just move. I'm not going to worry about it. So I move like about 5 paces to my right. And naturally, that space filled in really quickly, so I'm not even worried about it. And I stand 5 seconds later, here comes like this whole Asian clan with backpacks and chairs, and they just like barge through and stand in front of people and just like, and I'm like, I can't, like, what happened, like. And I mentioned that they were Asian because I remember, without being completely overtly racist, but I do remember my life in Vancouver. I would go to the mall, and there would just be like, the Asians would just, kind of rude. They would just, block you, get in front of you, stand in front of the escalator. And I know it's their culture, so I'm not like hating on them. I'm just like, I remember that this being quite common, that this would just be like, because I find that a lot of times, like, I'm very courteous. My mother raised me completely to be a gentleman. So anybody who knows me, knows that I'm overtly generous and very courteous and very, very, what is the word? Very, self-aware about my space and my height and my size. So I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to simply just like be like, oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Oh, sorry. Let me reach past you. Let me get past you. Excuse me. That is who I am all day. So when people don't do it, I don't care what ethnic background you come from, but I do know that there tend to be a lot of Asians who will block you and move, and just it's part of their culture. Like they don't really say excuse me or whatever, because I think no one's talked to me about this. It's just my own assessment. Is I think that especially culture, if they come from, if they're a first generation, if they've come from China or from a major Asian country, they tend to be very overcrowded. So being in front of somebody or squishing somebody in a bus or whatever is just common practice. It's like you get on because you got to get on. Like they ain't not concerned. Like India is the same way. Like you get on a train, you just get on. It's like they're nice about it, but it's like, listen, I got to get on this train. I got to get in this space. I need to get, see what I need to see. So I get it, but it still doesn't excuse it because, I'm American and I was raised by an amazingly, well put together woman who made sure that I said thank you, I said please, I said excuse me. So that's just my background. So it's hard for me to deal with other people's background. So here comes this family, comes and stands in front of me and these two other guys. And the two other guys were completely Portland looking dudes, beards and smelling like patchouli and shit. So they were just not having it. They were looking at each other like, you've got to be joking me. And I'm looking like, dude, I was in Canada, so it's common practice. So I get it. So again, I'm out. I moved because I'm like, I'm not dealing with it. So, the whole time I'm just like, and it's taking me back mentally. I'm just like, I can't do this. It's like, I'm finally at that age where I'm just like, I can't deal with people's kids, and I can't deal with stupid parents. Like I move instantly. Like this isn't the first day. This isn't the first time. This isn't the time. But it's just been collectively. I've just decided that my patience and my bandwidth is no longer. I don't have it. Like it's like I was getting on the bus on Friday, and there was this lady waiting for the bus with us, and she and her daughter were like, cause I wake up and go to work at 5:30 in the morning. So the last thing I want to hear is a crying child at 5:30 in the morning, because I'm like, I don't even want to go to this job. I don't even want to be here. I don't want to be doing this, And I do catch the bus. I'm a bus rider only because I'm just so used to it. Like I have a license. It's completely valid. It doesn't expire until next year on my birthday, and it's from Canada. And so, I like long distance driving, but I don't like local, like going to the grocery store driving. I just don't like it. Like I like the convenience of putting shit in your car, in your trunk, and not having to carry it, on the bus, but I don't like it. I remember having a car and still walk to the store, or like living in Chicago, having a car and still taking the train downtown. So that's just my life. Like that's I have accepted it. Like I don't fly, I don't drive. I'm turning into that dude. I'm just like that guy. It's like, I don't, driving's for somebody else. Do I want a car in Portland? I kind of do, because I want to be able to drive back and forth to Vancouver and shit. But for the most part, I'm thinking it's going to be back burner. But for the most part, like here I am standing in front. I'm like, I can't tolerate people and their bad parenting skills. Like I'm just over it. It's not for me. And I just find it more and more like prominent that you're around people who sort of don't discipline their children, or they're so concerned about what's on their phone and their texting and all that stuff that their parenting skills just go down the drain. And I'm over it. I'm so over it. I immediately move so that people understand that not everybody is tolerant to their, inadequate parenting skills. So like I said, the lady that on the bus at 5:30 in the morning, she doesn't want to hear her kid cry either. So she offers the kid a juice box or whatever to shut